What's poppin', everybody? Hello and welcome to Popcorn Culture. My name is Ben Carlin, and I am your host. Here will be today is my brother Jay, who will be in every episode.
Yeah, we are here. Last episode, we talked about how the fantasy draft was at hand, and now we've had it.
We've now had it.
Now, obviously, by the time you're listening to this, it's several weeks into the season, but it was a. You know what? I was just me sitting in my basement, like sort of chatting in the internet's smallest chat window.
Yes, Yahoo Fantasy Sports literally gives you, like, you have 10 people in the draft with you and potentially 12, 14, 16, like more.
Yeah.
And the box that it gives you is, I kid you not,
so small.
3 inches, cannot be made larger, and also, like, is actively listing every decision that anybody makes. So it's like, it'll be like, Jonathan's team, the Maroons, drafted Jaden Daniels or whatever, which I actually don't think
I did not, despite wearing his jersey at this moment.
At this very moment, yeah. But it was. You're right. It was a really fun occasion to like sit there and like be interacting with all of our fantasy football friends and doing
super good fun times.
Did you get a good score?
I got, so after, if you don't know, at least on Yahoo anyway, after you do the draft, you get an email from Yahoo about 15 minutes later giving you your draft grade, and I get so nervous and like I put way too much stock in this, and I can rationalize my way out of any bad grade. But like if I've gotten it before where it's like you got a C, and I'll be like, yeah, well, we'll just see about that. We'll just see about that at the end of the season. This email.
What do you even know, Yahoo Fantasy Sports?
You don't know anything. Meanwhile, if it gives me like an A or something, I'm like, spot on. You get it. I get it. I'm unstoppable. That's it.
Season has begun.
So last night I went through, I did it. I got all my players in there. And I got my draft grade back. A-.
Wow.
I was like, that's pretty solid. I was pretty happy with it.
Well, and you should be. You should be, because that's super high praise. I, on the other hand, got a C.
You got a C?
I got a C.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just cop out now, man. Just,
literally, I was like, well,
the chat.
Here we go. You're exactly right.
Season's over.
I am convinced that the AI intelligence or whatever that is used to determine your draft score is just a load of codswallop. Here's the funny thing though, is that we knew someone in our draft said they were just using Chat GPT to like tell them who to pick next each round. Yes.
And I was like, oh, that's an interesting way to do it. And like had no idea how that was going to go. But then I went and looked to see what everyone's draft score was, and their score was A+. And I was like, oh no.
Literally the highest.
I was like, they had the highest. They have the highest projected total this week. I was like, we are so screwed. This is not good.
It is such a thing too, because everything about like fantasy, like I went second and the person before me did not pick the number 1 listed person in the draft. And then I'm sitting there like, I can pick them. Like he's available.
Yeah.
So I got Jamar Chase, and I'm like, hopefully that's a good thing for me and not like somehow really, really bad.
Yeah, it's like, wait. What do they know that I don't know?
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, maybe I should leave him too.
Yeah, screw it.
It's like you can immediately see how like the psychology of everything starts like corrupting everyone else's mind.
Yeah.
Like, well, what do they not know?
Why didn't they do that? That was a weird decision. Are they just bad at this, or do they know something about Jamar Chase? I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But I feel like there's so many different things. There used to be there still is the video game Madden NFL, which is like where you can play like NFL football. And for the longest time, there was like a curse where if you were on the cover of Madden for that year, it was because you had a spectacular year the year prior and almost always would end up getting injured in the upcoming season.
This is what happened to Jason Tatum this year, Ben.
Is it?
He was on the cover, and they made it to the playoffs before he got injured, but now he's out the whole season.
I can't believe that. That's a tough draw.
It is a tough draw, Ben, which means it's more of a rebuilding year for the Celtics.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's all right. We're just it's gonna be great. We're lowering the salary cap, getting in there. We're just gonna survive this year.
Everything will be fine.
Everything's gonna be fine. We got Jaylen Brown and Derek White. It's gonna be amazing. We got a couple of colors in there, and yeah.
People. Brown and white.
Yeah, brown and white.
I got it. People love when we talk this much about sports.
I absolutely do. But we're not going to talk about sports the whole time, because today we have a fun format for the episode.
We do. So speaking of artificial intelligence, we're in a weird sector of the year where we've got tour coming up, which means we are batch recording some of our stuff in advance, which is always a mad dash. We must average before we leave at least 2 major pieces of content every single day that we're in office.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's like, okay, this is a lot. So the problem as it always is when it comes to the pop is that we typically the pop is about our lives. And so usually a very important aspect of the pop is we need to go live some life. So we have like the new life experiences to reflect on and to discuss with one another. And because we're now on our 3rd episode of the pop in as many days, it's kind of like, okay, we probably are running out of life in the short game as far as that's concerned. So,
which, by the way, if you guys can't tell, it is suddenly raining super hard here.
It is.
In case you're wondering, like, what's that sound? Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't, but we can hear it.
We can hear it. Yep. So what we've done is we've kind of gone opposite day a little bit, or maybe we're wearing the colors of our respective teams as it could potentially be regarded.
I mean, I suppose we've got, but like, so the other thing the pop is about is strong opinions about weak things.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
This, I mean, I would say it's kind of like your forte.
I mean, that's my forte.
Yeah.
Strong opinions about weak things.
I mean, I think you've self-described before that it's like your sense of humor.
Oh, I mean, for sure. Yeah. I mean, that's true.
There we go.
I mean, I'm like, if you're like, when you say it's my forte, is like this how you would describe me to other people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, strong opinions about weak things.
Yeah, strong opinions about weak things.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to feel like, I did something wrong, so I was just talking about paper towels. And
yes, exactly.
Don't worry about Jay.
He just likes to get excited. He was having fun. Yeah. So I've titled my portion of it "Let's Get Controversial."
Let's get controversial.
And I've got weak opinions about strong things.
Okay.
Sort of. So some people are like, "Whoa," are they going to be like talking about like really important stuff?
Maybe it's more like weak opinions about medium things.
I think it's weak opinions about medium things.
Yeah.
And I would preface by saying that none of these are topics I feel like I am a particular expert on. I'm just going to weigh in a little bit.
We'll talk about them.
See, this is my whole personality. Hedge. Just like I'm not affiliated with him.
Yeah.
And by him in this case, I mean the digital version of me that's talking into a microphone for the internet.
Yeah, there you go. That one.
Yeah, that's the one. So we're going to go back and forth between a topic that is regarded as a weak opinion about a strong thing and then a strong opinion about a weak thing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Do you want to kick off? Why don't you kick off?
Okay. I mean, I guess I can kick off here. Oh boy, gosh. Now I'm like on the spot here. Let's see. Ben.
Yes.
What do you think is the best French fry shape? You got like waffle, you got curly, you got shoestring, you got crinkle cut.
Man,
you got steak fry.
I think steak fry is not my favorite.
I agree.
It's too dense and like doughy,
They never cook it right. Like you can sometimes I feel like I only want a steak fry if I'm literally at somewhere like Texas Roadhouse or something.
Yeah, there's a place in downtown Roanoke called Martin's that we eat at with some occasion. And they have twisted steak fries.
Dude, we do have the twisted fries here, don't we?
Those are good ones.
Yes.
Those are good ones.
I was just watching Good Mythical Morning and they had twisted fries on the show.
Okay.
And Rhett and Link had no idea what they were. They'd never seen them before. They're like, what on earth's happening here? What are these things? And I was like, boys. You guys are from North Carolina, all right? Those are like, those are from this area. I mean, as far as I know, they're from Roanoke, but those are twisted fries, man.
That's exactly it. You gotta have some twisted fries.
The twisted fries are great.
Not to be confused with curly fries. I enjoy a curly fry, but almost only from Arby's.
I think here's a strong opinion about a weak thing. I think the curly fries at Arby's are overrated.
No way.
I don't even think,
do you get the crinkle cut fries at Arby's?
I mean,
that's a bad take.
But I'm not crazy. I still get the curly fries.
Okay.
But I'm like, if you lined me up and was just like, choose like, what are the best fast food French fries? Like Arby's isn't probably even in my top 5.
See,
you know what I mean?
That's the thing. Yeah. Like I tend to like when perfectly executed, like probably the classic like shoestring fry, like and I'm gonna compare it to McDonald's, but I don't mean necessarily McDonald's. I mean like that shape. Like we went to a place, it was like a French restaurant for brunch in New York City, and they had these like
Oh, those were really good fries.
They were like duck fat oil.
Yeah, they were like duck fat fried fries or something.
Do you remember the name of that restaurant?
God, Beth is the one who brought us there. It was on
Balthazar?
Balthazar's, yes.
I don't know how it's sprang in my head.
Wow, you did it.
Yeah,
you did it.
So I would say that is like, to me, that's like peak, because I really like a rather like crunchy, I guess, texture, but not like completely.
Yeah.
You know, like crunchy, but like also soft.
Crunchy, but also soft.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think, like I really love Burger King's fries. I think those are. I think they're superior to McDonald's fries.
They've almost got like a bubbly texture to them. Do they not? Like they kind of remind me of the characters from Inside Out, like where they're sort of like little, like.
Got that little like just sort of glimmeriness to them.
Like a glimmer.
Yeah, a little bit. Although probably my favorite actual fast food fries are the waffle fries at Chick-fil-A. I love waffle fries. They're so
Addison
good.
calls them holy fries.
Yeah, the holy fries. Yeah, exactly. The holy fries.
The holy
fries.
Yeah. Fries that contain holes.
Yeah.
No, those are good. But like waffle fries, I feel like are dangerous, because that's another one like the steak fry, where if they're not cooked at the right like oil temperature, then I feel like they end up being like kind of like soggy and like really dense. There's a place that Alice and I really like the wings from, and we oftentimes get their waffle fries with it, and it's like I enjoy them, but I also feel like I'm taking like calendar days off of my life by eating like a handful.
I see. Right.
Yeah, I'm like this can't be good for me.
Right.
I mean they taste pretty good, but like I don't want to actively feel like I'm harming myself while eating my French fries.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Fair enough.
Okay.
All right.
So
do you have? Where do you think is the best fast food fry then?
Best fast food fry.
Let me tell you where it's not.
Okay.
Is In-N-Out.
I mean, like I do not like, if the people who think In-N-Out is good, I'm like, you need to come anywhere else.
Right.
Like
the burger was fine. We stopped on tour last time. The burger was fine. The fries, I would describe as like inedible.
Like almost bad.
Like, no, not almost bad. Bad.
Just bad.
Just bad.
See, I was hedging.
No, I'm not hedging on this one. They were terrible. Like, I don't know, like, but part of me is like, I want to give him another chance. Like, maybe that was just a bad experience or something. But part of me is like, no, you missed out, dude. That was it. Get out next. Not stopping here. I only get, so many cool fast food stops on these tours,
I don't know which fast food eatery I think has the best fries.
Okay.
This is gonna sound absolute madness. Bojangles pretty much sells a steak fry, but they're like covered in like a Cajun seasoning of sorts.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
I actually quite like those.
The Bojangle fries are very good. Although I like the Bo Rounds.
See, I don't like.
You don't like the Bo Rounds?
I don't.
Oh man! Sometimes the reason I'm there, like I get the Cajun filet biscuit. That's the only thing you should order there. But what I really want is them Bo Rounds.
Dude, imagine taking a potato, boiling it for a little while, slicing it into rounds, throwing it onto wet pavement for 3 to 5 days, picking it up, throwing it into fryer oil for way too long, and then serving it as a puck.
So good.
Anyway, so that's where I land on that. Okay. I feel like your version of this game is going to be way more fun than my version of this game.
We'll see.
Yeah, okay. All right. So that was strong opinion about a weak thing. Now we're going over to a weak opinion about a strong thing. Should tipping culture exist, or is it broken?
Going for tips culture. Oh my gosh. Let me hedge a little here.
Hedge away.
I tip. Whenever you're supposed to tip, I tip, and I try and be generous about it, but I hate tipping culture.
It's like, I think that's the thing, is that it's like, because I do completely agree with you. Where I would stand is like people who rely on tips to be like a big part of the way that they earn their income. It's like, I understand the system and I am participating in the system.
I am not going to remove myself from the system and not pay you the wages you deserve to live your life. I understand that's part of it. That's just where we are.
Yeah. Hard stop. The really interesting question to me is that, like, I do think that like when I got my tattoo done, for example, I had heard from a lot of people that you are meant to tattoo tattoo. You tip your tattoo artist, which I've also done every time. Well, the 2 times I've gotten tattoos. Mm-hmm. However, my artist is from Hungary. And so it was actually like even like a cultural question that he was doing the work in the United States. And I was like, do I tip? And they were like, it is neither, it is not included nor is it expected, is the answer they gave me when in the cost.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I'm going to do it because you're like, it's my culture to tip.
Right.
So I'm going to tip you. But then it's sort of like, what amount is the correct amount too? Because it's like, well, then if they're not expecting it at all, like what do you do?
Right.
But so that's the thing, is that like culturally, I think in the United States, it is so ingrained into like who we are and what we do, to the point where, okay, so another example would be, we just recently went to the Dominican Republic, to like an all-inclusive resort for Alice's birthday. And generally speaking, the idea with the all-inclusive resort is that you have the ability to go up to the bar, the swim-up pool or whatever, and order a drink, and they hand it to you, and you are more than allowed to just simply walk away. And the 2 resorts that Alice and I have gone to do this, both cater to what appears to be, just from our best observations from just like people watching, which we like to do, is that it's a very like European audience. Like the people there, even though we're in a Spanish speaking country, are typically not speaking Spanish. They're speaking French and Italian and German and, a variety of other things.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting, because then we were like on like all the Reddit pages about like, hey, like what should we bring for tips? And a bunch of people were like, I'm traveling from France and like, we don't tip, like why, like it should be incorporated into like the wages or whatever. And like, so it was a fascinating back and forth as to like what you're supposed to do. So we were just like, we're just going to bring a whole bunch of 5s, and, pretty much just like if we went up and we got 2 drinks, we just like left a 5, and it was just like,
there you go.
It's what felt comfortable to us.
Right.
Like, because it seemed like not everybody does it. It's not an absolutely huge sum. It's way cheaper than if we were buying 2 cocktails at like a restaurant. Like it feels like a safe way to get out comfortably.
Right.
But it would be the major shake up is the big thing. And the example that I thought was interesting for this question is, over this past weekend, we were down at the lake with our family, and on Smith Mountain Lake, where we go, there is like an ice cream boat.
Yeah.
That comes around.
Yes, I know. Yes, I was going to bring this up too.
Yeah. And so it's really fun. And like the moment when the kids from the windows saw the ice cream boat, and they all like, you could like watch the message like fall like dominoes as like one kid learned the ice cream truck was coming, and then all the rest
learned. Like we're like, oh my god, ice cream down, and they were all like rushing to go find their shoes and life jackets and like get down to the dock. And yes,
it was the cutest thing ever. But so then we get down there, and of course, like we're all sort of like, we were like in our slight post breakfast like pajamas basically still. Right. We weren't really like ready for the day. So we run down there. We've kind of got like our wallets and stuff, but nobody's really got like a whole bunch of cash. And you sort of ask the obligatory like, oh, do you take like Venmo or Cash App or Apple Pay or like any of the obvious like phone to phone things? And he's like, nah, I've just got like an old phone, it doesn't have any of those things on it. And he's like, we just do cash or personal check. And he's like, but
check.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was like, wow, I definitely won't have one of those. But he's like, it's all on our system. If you guys don't have it this time, I'll come back tomorrow. We'll do it then. Like, you just don't, like he was so like, I swear this must be someone who's just retired and enjoys being greeted the way that he was being greeted by 7 happy
the kids. Yeah.
Kids. And it was just fun. But then the second day he came back and everybody was super excited again. And Beth was like, well, can we give you a tip? And he's like, look, we have a policy. We just don't accept tips. Like, he's like, because if you do, then you feel obliged to do it next time. And then it just sort of becomes this like thing. And it's just like, it's always adding like an expense. Like just pay for the ice cream. And the full disclosure that I would have here is that this is clearly someone who is just getting joy out of just doing this.
Right.
Like this is not someone who this is their livelihood. This isn't like how he pays his bills or anything. Like this is just someone who's like, they were selling the ice cream for like $1 a piece. Like it was, I can't even imagine.
I think he might have been losing money.
Yeah. Especially when you account for like the fuel it takes to move the boat around the lake, like almost certainly losing money. So I'm not trying to use him as like the anecdotal, example that should apply to all people in all situations and all everythings. But I remember back when I was in college, I had a couple of instances where I had like an aquarium like client who I think fell into this trap with me, and like I never knew how to break out of it and they never knew how to break out of it, but like I didn't exist on tips. That wasn't like I just paid myself like an income based on like the service that we were doing. I remember going one particular evening, stuff was really haywire. It was like pouring rain, all sorts of, I think I drove in from college to help them solve a problem they were having trouble with. It was like, it was a whole endeavor. They tipped me $20. And it was like very generous. And I was like, wow, that's so awesome. Like as a college student, like $20 is like, that's, you just gave me like play money. That's really fun.
Right.
And then it kind of became this thing where it was like, I think because they had tipped me the once, like they didn't know how to like not do it every subsequent time.
Right.
And so then it was just like every single time I went, they would go and like root around and find like a $20 bill to give me, which was really, really generous and like a nice thing that they did. But it was like, I could tell that they were almost reaching a point where it was like, this is getting ridiculous. And I was like, this is getting ridiculous. Like I don't know what to do either.
Right.
Like, I don't know what to say. And it was just very, very odd and strange. So, it is an odd one. It's almost like if you're not going to have tipping, it needs to be completely replaced by good, solid, fair wages. And then it does, like I can see where like the people who come in from Europe to go to these resorts essentially are like, that's not like part of, like, if we introduce it, then what does that do? Like I can see where it becomes confusing.
Right.
Like it's almost like
absolutely, that's the problem with tipping culture, is that it's so confusing and it's not clear what the rules are all the time. And especially like in the last 5 or 6 years, like the advent of like the iPad cash register, where like you can just like flip a setting where it's just like ask the person if they want to leave a tip, but it's like you don't have to, but suddenly you're being asked to do it at times when like you never would have been asked before.
Sure.
And it's like they put the onus on you to like clear that message away. They're not like, oh wait, never mind, no, this isn't like a tipping situation. They're like, well, maybe, who knows?
Maybe you want to.
Yeah, maybe you want to. But then like and so like, and then I feel bad a lot of times where I'm just like, no, or whatever. Like, do you ever not do it? Do you ever say no?
I don't think I do ever say no.
Right. But then it's like, but you wouldn't have done it if they didn't give you the screen.
True.
Right?
True. Well, that's probably true. Like if I was just paying with cash, I probably wouldn't have been like, for my bird feed, here's the $7 plus an extra, keep the change on the 10,
Right.
Like I don't know. I have, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fair point. You're right. Like the prompting does sort of open that door.
Yeah. Yeah.
But typically I think that like my mental justification for it typically is if it's a small business in particular, I'm far more inclined to do it.
Yeah.
Because there's like a piece of me that's just sort of like, I get how hard it is. So it's like,
no, I mean, I understand. Yeah. And like, sometimes I will.
Yeah.
But there's like hypocrisy within my own like judging system sometimes.
Okay.
Which is like all just like part of the confusion and annoying problem. Like if I'm at Starbucks and they flip that around and said, you want a tip? I'm like, for what? Filling up my coffee? You didn't do anything.
Sure.
I'm like, what? Like, should I? Like I probably don't there at Starbucks. But then if I'm at a bar and I order a beer and they do the exact same thing, turn around and fill up a cup with liquid and hand it to me, I'm like, well, you always tip $1 per drink at least at a bar. So yes,
Sure.
Like that's sort of like the rule I learned once upon a time, but for some reason it doesn't apply to coffee, but it does apply to alcohol. Like I don't,
Well, I remember this being like a year one SCB video that I made where I was like, we have like a coffee shop here in downtown Roanoke called Mill Mountain Coffee, which is like our like, local-ish shop. And one of the big things is that like oftentimes I would go in before work to go work on the aquariums and I would just get like a basic small cup of coffee, which I think cost like $1.50 or something like that. And like, even using like the traditional like 15-20% tipping standard, it was like, do I tip 30 cents? Like,
right.
Like to me, I was always like, somehow that feels more insulting than not tipping at all. Like in the example that I had for this, where I got called out for it, and I felt horrible, was I remember we had this one customer come into our aquarium store. He had this really amazing aquarium. He brought a whole bunch of coral frags that he had, broken off, and basically just wanted to come and contribute to the community by sharing them with us, the store. And I think from his perspective, it was like, this is a way like to put cool corals into the local area to help the small business, basically get a coral for free that they can sell for $15 or whatever. it'll just work out. And I was like, well, like, you know, I was like, I can't really like buy these or anything from you. Like, you know, we don't want to have that like in our budget, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, don't worry about it. Like, this is just for you guys. Just enjoy. And he's like, and I'm going to grab this fish over here. And I remember he went and bought a fish and I was like, I gave you 50% off on your, or 15% off on your purchase. And I remember he called me on the way home and he was deeply insulted because he was like, I just brought you like $100 worth of corals and you gave me 15% off. And I was like, but you said to like, you know, like I was like, I don't like, it was almost as if like what I had given, like it was worse to have given him too little.
Like you shouldn't have done anything.
It was almost like I shouldn't have done anything.
Right.
Or maybe I should have just given him the fish. I don't know. Like, you know, it was such a weird instance and I felt horrible about it because I was like, I think when I took a few steps back, I was like, I get what he means, but I'm not sure what I was like, but I was still offering an amount of discount, you know, like,
right.
Yeah, and so
I don't know. But then like, if you go to, on the other end, like if you go to like the card shop or whatever, they'll buy anything, you know, and that'll just turn it into store credit.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
Which is effectively, you know, then if this guy brought you, you know, 200, if you just like translated it directly and he brought you $200 worth of corals or whatever, and you were just like, boom, cool, you've got $200 here's $200 cash or $200 store credit or whatever. Thanks so much.
Right.
I'm just buying it from you because I know I'll be able to resell it. Then, you know, it's that would be then it seems like, yeah, well then effectively he just wanted to trade. You know, it was like, oh, well, I don't want to pay you money, but I have all these corals. Here we go.
Right. You know? Yes. Right. Well, and maybe we just need a better system for it. But, you know, I think I was also just so new to business in the first place. I was only 19 when this happened. But
this is what I mean, though. It's like, that's a whole different situation. You've got living creatures. You didn't have a obvious system of like, we buy corals.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, whereas like it's just different. But the point is the water is murky and that's what makes it uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. You're right. Yes. And that's where everything gets a little bit dicey. So I don't know. I mean, it'd be like an interesting question just a lot out there. If you live off of tips, you know, as like a huge part of your livelihood, where do you land on it? Would you rather just have like a steady wage, or do you feel like sometimes it's like because the underlying idea, hope behind the tip, I guess, in the first place is it's a way to, it's almost like a balancing act between the experience of the customer and the waiter, where the waiter is insured the idea is that the waiter should be insured a better tip by providing better service. And then, and then the hope is that like that works out well. And that's probably where plenty of people who work on tips are like, it completely depends on where you are. Like sometimes it works out great if the clientele is open to it, and sometimes it works out terrible.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And it's just like, yeah. And here's another thing is like, I've been at like hotels before where like, you know, they'll have someone like carry your luggage or like load your car up or whatever, or like the valet or something, which is like places you're expected to tip. And like, I just don't like, I won't have cash on me at all.
It does feel like that's a growing problem for sure.
And it's like, then I feel terrible because I'm like, I know I want to tip you. I want, you did a good, but I don't have the means to do it.
Right.
You know, because I don't carry the cash. And it's like, then I'm like, that was, now I'm like driving away from the hotel with this like terrible, like, you know, pit in my stomach. Like, oh man.
I know. Yeah, you're right. And one thing I've just recently discovered is that the before I went on my trip to the Dominican, I went to the ATM and it actually offered me the ability to pull out like small bills instead of like, it seemed like forever part of the other problem is that ATMs would only deliver 20s. And this was also kind of an issue because it was like, if you needed like small bills, you either needed to get the 20s and go break them somewhere, which was its own process just to be prepared in the first place to have them, or you had to go to like the bank teller, which always felt like overly formal, like in terms of the steps to be prepared for this exact situation.
Yeah.
But I was actually really delighted by this because Alice and I have this like little zippered pouch that we carry with us when we're on vacation, and it's just full of like, you know, $150 in fives.
Right.
And so it's just sort of like, haha,
boom,
you know.
Yeah.
But that's a new development.
Yeah.
Like that's been like a more recent thing.
Well, overall, my opinion is I don't mind tipping at all. I just wish it was more clear. Like I would almost rather it would just be like gratuity included, you know?
Well, yeah, right. And on the other big question there too is that like the math is all there, like, so if, let's say you go out to dinner and, normally you'd pay $10 for your burger plus a tip of $2 to make it 20% or whatever. Like, how much would it encumber sales to just list the burger for sale for $12? And the business, the establishment handles making the $2 go to the employee.
Right.
Yeah. Or let's say, for example, the dish is normally $100 steak and now it's $120 instead to make it more drastic.
Yeah.
Because $2 sounds pretty easy to.
Right. Yeah. Do all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Tipping culture.
I know. Yeah.
Ugh.
It's an interesting one. Okay.
Fun waters.
All right. It's back to your turn.
Oh. All right. Strong opinions about weak things here. Let's see. This feels like sort of up your alley, Ben.
Ooh.
This is, I mean, not to make everything about shapes or anything, but what do you think is the best ice cube shape?
Ooh,
because I know you're an ice man.
I do like ice. Yeah. So right away, you've kind of got this. My least favorite ice is definitely the standard ice that comes out of fridges, which is like that
like half moon shape.
Kind of a half moon shape.
That's the worst ice.
It is the worst. It's the worst ice, and I'm not even sure that it would be the worst ice, but I think that maybe it's like so frequently people just fail to, myself, maybe I fail to replace the filters. So I tend to feel like there's almost like a scent associated with that
There's
ice.
often a scent associated with it. And here's what I don't like about that ice is also the shape.
Well, is it because it's like round? So if you get a round cup, it sort of like smooths to the side?
Yes, it smooths to the side. And then when you're drinking it, it like hits your lip at a weird angle. Like anytime I've got the half circle shaped ice, I try and like rotate your drink, which then physics doesn't like you turning it.
Yes. It's like a compass all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's
ice
like,
always points north.
Yeah, like ice always points north. You can't like turn the liquid and get it to. But I always try and line it up so that I'm drinking it such that the ice is facing me like vertically.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. So that the liquid comes out better, because otherwise it's that like a terrible feeling on, you don't have a good mouth to cup ratio.
Right,
you know what I mean?
No, I do understand. And hilariously, the ice that I suspect is going to be the popular answer is that like Sonic pellet.
The pellet ice.
The pellet ice.
Yeah.
And I am a big fan of the pellet ice because I love to crunch it.
Yeah.
However, I also think that pellet ice can sometimes melt.
It melts fast.
Melts quickly.
Yeah.
So it can water down your drink. And I also think that it can do the same sort of thing where it's almost like it's like melting against the glass and you end up getting like the barrier. So it's almost like best case scenario is that Sonic environment where you go up, you buy the drink, you drink it through a straw, and then you're kind of like crunching on the ice afterwards as like a little snack.
Yeah, right. I have like my ice maker at home. We have like a pellet ice maker.
Yes.
Yeah, which is great. And I put that every morning. I'll put some in my Awala water bottle, and then it's great because that's got a straw in it. So I mean, like it keeps the water cold all day long. And I do feel like it makes a difference that it's the pellet ice.
Dude, it is so funny with the Awala water bottle that you brought that up, because you got one for Addison. And so my very brief experiences with it have been using hers for miscellaneous things, like where it's like just like I left it in my center console or something, and so like I took a sip out of it. And it's crazy because I feel like water bottles have gone through like a myriad of phases. Like I remember when like the Nalgene was super popular.
Oh, that's like when we were in high school.
Yeah. And then there was the Camelback with the bite valve, which was like it was still like a hard plastic water bottle, but it had like a rubber suction-y type straw lid up at the top. And then I feel like that was like the plastic era. And then it shifted over into the Hydro Flasks, which are like the first iteration of like the metal cup. And then the Stanley's cups came through with like the pop open lid. And then you finally, now we've reached the Awala.
Yeah.
And it's got like a straw or a slurp built into it. And I'm like, this is really the first one that has actually made a specific design advancement that really alters my enjoyability of it.
Oh, so you like it?
I do like it. Yeah.
I know Beth had one, and every now and then I would just pick it up and like take a sip, and I was like, "This is better. This is good." Yeah. But Yeah, so if you don't have a Wallace, those are solid water bottles. The problem is that I have a version of every single other one of those that you mentioned.
Yes.
In my house because my wife's addicted to water bottles.
Well, they're so eye catching.
Yeah,
it's hard not to be drawn to them because they're like beautiful.
Yeah,
like we have a store in downtown Roanoke as well called Mass General, and they've got like a wall, and like whenever I'm going and like look at it, I'm like, I would buy all of these.
I want all of them.
But then when I try to choose like one in particular, I'm like, I can't choose which color, and then I just don't buy any.
They just don't buy any. Yeah, crippled by decision there a little bit.
Yeah.
But like even in that case, I think the pellet ice is good because I think what you do is you put the ice in first and then put the water on top, and that way the water has to like filter through all of the ice, and because there's so much surface area to pass on pellet ice, it gets extra cold. Yeah,
that's a good point.
That's my pitch for the pellet ice. Otherwise, although like if you're having like a cocktail or something, very different. You don't want pellet ice then because that's more of like a sipping situation.
Right. You want something that's going to melt
slow.
And then that's when you introduce the large cube and or sphere.
Indeed. Which this past weekend, this was the first time I'd ever seen this, our mom found like pre-packaged sphere ice,
dude, and it was so neat because they were clear, and I was like, Mom, I was like, this is fine. These are. I mean, I'm sure that they were expensive for 6 ice cubes, but it was like it was still really fun. I was like, I am enjoying this experience, very very much so, and that really brings me to like my own personal ice quest.
It does,
where I got really just addicted to the quest for clear ice for such a long period of time. And I will say that the thing that I have still to this day not purchased for myself that I would like, that I just so desperately covet, is they're these like machined aluminum ice press molds.
Yeah, they're really cool.
They're really cool. So you like the aluminum, I think either dispels heat or holds heat, or it has some type of physical properties that basically allows you to take a chunk of ice that you can freeze in other kinds of molds, set it into the thing, and it will like slowly just like by gravity lower itself down until you end up with like a perfect, even like no seam ball.
Yeah, no seams. That's the trick.
It is the trick.
Yeah,
because all the like rubber molds always end up like with like a little seam. It's kind of like
you don't want that.
It's good, but it's not great.
You don't have to like sand your ice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like until I have a bandsaw that can cut my own ice like cubes.
Yeah.
And I'm like freezing them in like a vibrating tray that like dispels all the dissolved gases inside of the water, and then you end up with like perfectly clear like ice sculpting ice.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm cutting it into cubes like one by one, and then putting a little press on it that's like, this came from Ben's ice vault, until then I don't want to be like handling the ice any more than putting it in the really cool contraption.
Exactly.
Yeah. So but then I do really like those. So I would say that like when it comes to ice, it's almost like one of those where it's like I don't have a favorite. There's not like a one size fits all. There's just different ices that are appropriate for different situations.
Yeah, but never crescent ice.
But never crescent ice. That stuff sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's so like I don't even know how they make it so cloudy. Like it's remarkable how cloudy it is. It's like, I mean, even if they could make it like kind of clear, that would be nice.
Yeah.
It doesn't blend well.
Right.
Like if you try to make it into like a pina colada or something.
No, yeah.
That's where you need bagged ice.
That's where you need I was gonna say, where do you land on bag ice? That's sort of like more like I wouldn't say square ice. Like it's like ribbed cubes or something.
Yeah, they're like their own weird thing.
Yeah.
I quite like bag ice, but I'm almost never ever buying it except for when I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
And then it's almost always for coolers.
Yeah.
But once upon a time I bought one of those like Margaritaville like beverage concoction machines or whatever.
You do have a Margaritaville machine.
And I learned very quickly that bag ice is the ultimate for getting like the best consistency, because even pellet ice gets just obliterated. Like it doesn't work well.
Doesn't work well. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
Bag ice. So, the right ice for the right place.
Exactly.
Place.
Moving on.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Okay, Jay, I got another one.
Okay. Oh,
I feel like this one's dangerous.
Oh, it's a doozy, is it?
It is. I'm gonna call it spicy.
Unlike the ice.
Unlike the ice. Participation trophies and or ribbons.
Oh, okay. Participation, like, are they like dumb or?
What ChatGPT gave me as like sort of like the two ends of the spectrum here is it harmless encouragement or ruining resilience.
Okay.
I don't know that we need to live within the confines of that, but that's at least what it gave us is like some.
That's
brief,
what it gave. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, I guess it depends what you mean by participation trophy. Okay, like because I feel like I remember growing up and like sort of hearing people like, oh, they're just giving out participation trophies for anything these days or whatever. And I remember thinking even as a kid, like, yeah, that's dumb. But then I would get older and be like, well, like with the end of every like, rec soccer season, we'd have like a pizza party where they'd give out a trophy.
Yeah.
Just for like being on the team. And I was like, yeah, but that's not what you like. To me, that's never what it meant.
That is not what people are upset about?
I don't know. That's what I was like. That like I always remember I loved getting those trophies.
Yes, I did too.
I remember, but then I also remember people complaining about like, oh, the kids just get participation trophies now, and I never felt like they were talking about that. Even though as I get older, I'm like, is that what they were talking about?
Well, I mean, on some level, I'm kind of like, if not that, then what are they talking about? Because okay, so if I were to back up a little bit too, like I remember growing up and yes, we did like rec sports year round. That was like a part of our family culture. We did spring soccer, fall soccer, basketball, and sprinkled in there into the summer seasons was oftentimes like some version of swim team.
Yeah.
Swim team, as far as I remember, never gave participation trophies. It was just, you went to the swim meets and I mean, I guess you could say maybe they awarded like, first through 8th place or something like that. And maybe that's like one of those things where like, if you've got like a sitcom TV character who's got a shrine of all their kids' accomplishments, including all their 8th place ribbons or something, maybe it's kind of like, okay, like, like were they great at swimming? It's like, it's okay if they're not, like, I don't know.
I think the way they did it in swim team was that they had like tiers for the times. So like, you could be there was like, if you were like, let's say for 100 meters, just for like easy math or whatever, let's say for like 100-meter swim, if you could swim it in like under, 50 seconds, that was considered a like gold time.
Right.
But if you were swimming it somewhere between like, 40, 50 seconds and
a minute,
then you were in the silver tier of time.
Right.
Whereas if it was anything over that, you were in like the bronze tier of time.
Okay.
Or whatever. So there was like conceivably a world where, 4 kids finished in the gold tier time. And then like the 5th kid was slow enough that he landed in the silver tier time. So then the next day when you were getting the awards, there would be like first place gold, second place gold, third place gold, and then first place silver. So if you were that unlucky 4th place gold kid, you got nothing, even though you were faster than the first place silver kid.
Right. Which then potentially could make you feel worse inside of that moment. But that's such a specific case.
It's such a specific case that I don't think happened that often. But could happen. That's how I remember the swimming things working. Otherwise, I'm trying to think like, like if you were at a like, because to me, like rec sports are already like not like super duper serious, No,
I mean, I think it's more about learning. It's learning teamwork. It's making friends. It's building a skill.
Yeah, you competed in the whole season. They gave you a trophy because like the what you accomplished, what you won was like you completed the whole season.
Right.
Like it wasn't for like winning a championship because they didn't even have championships or anything, It's just like you just got to the end of the season and then it was just over.
Right. Yes.
You played the games to play the games. But like to me, like the kind of like so to me, that always made sense. It was like, yeah. And I mean, if that's what they're talking about, then I think people are then I don't agree with them because I remember loving it. I remember like my kids, like Luke, he's gotten little trophies like that. He loves it. It's like fun to be able to like have like a physical thing that reminds you of that season. Yeah. And I remember having them in my room or whatever. But then also like when I was like older in high school and stuff, and we got like, we were on teams and you got like an actual award for a specific accomplishment within the team or for like winning a race or something.
Right.
Like then those trophies were obviously like better and like meant way more, you know?
Right. Yes. Yeah. And I think you're right. Like, cause I think about those participation trophies we got for soccer, and what I remember is going to the pizza place and all the kids were there and we're all having a great time and eating our pizza and stuff. And then the coach would get up there and he would say something nice about every single member of the team.
Right.
So it would be like, and like this next player brought a smile to everyone's face, like maybe not so many goals, but they, I think that they were serving a different kind, like they would explain the strength of the child. And it's like on some level, like that's also for kids.
Yeah.
It's like all kids have different things that they were bringing to the equation. They're not professional athletes. They're not high school athletes. Like,
right.
There really is something where it's just like if you're the kid who can't score a goal, but you make everybody else laugh, learning or being recognized for making people laugh, it's like that taught you something about you. It's like, it's not even about the trophy. The trophy was like the moment that meant that like, this is the window for funny kid.
Right. Exactly.
Like to get their praise.
Right. So like I guess on the flip side, if you were like then maybe on like a more competitive kind of like sports squad, like a travel team or something.
Right.
Like assume it, like, let's say you're on a travel team, you go to like a weekend tournament and you come in last, and then to me it's like if you got a bunch of trophies even though you came in last, that would sort of be like, well, what was that for?
Right. Yeah, like that might feel a little bit more participation.
Yeah, that feels like a little more like participation, because like there was a tournament, there was a literal first place trophy like on the line, kind of situation. Like it was a specifically high octane competitive environment.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where maybe the participation trophy is a participation T-shirt, and it's like I competed in the blank.
Exactly. Yeah. You had a shirt for going to the event. That's sort of the same thing.
Yeah. But the other one is like a lot of people love doing like distance races like I mean some 5Ks have them 5Ks 10Ks half marathons. Like you go, and a big part of doing that is they always design these amazingly cool medals that you get at the finish line, and everyone gets one. And though the same thing, like like when I ran my marathon, I was really excited and proud. I mean, my time wasn't good, it wasn't like it wasn't competitive. It's not like I placed in my age group or anything like that, but I was still kind of like, this is awesome.
No, of course, because it's like when you finish like a marathon or a half marathon, like it's hard. You put in like weeks of training for it, and it's not necessarily about celebrating that you won. It's just celebrating that you completed it, and it's like this is like a cool souvenir, kind of thing. And it's not like the people who won the race got the same medal. They got obviously better medals and stuff.
A different thing.
A different thing.
To celebrate their accolade. Yeah. Well, so then you've got the situation, which I think like is like in the movie The Incredibles, where like Dash, for example, as a young kid is struggling because he has this superhuman ability, which we'll just call, for the purposes of like actual real life, just a remarkable talent at a young age. Some kids have them. Like we've seen the videos of like a young Shaun White grinding his snowboard at age 4 or whatever.
Right.
Like, he was built different. And there's like a line from Helen Parr where she's like, everyone's special, Dash, and Dash is like, which is another way of saying no one is.
Right.
And I think like it's the concern is like if there are people who are talented that they're not like are they able to recognize that they are extraordinary or that they do have something unique to give? And I my thinking there is that that's a small like column of risk where I just don't think there's going to be that many kids who have an extraordinary talent that goes undiscovered.
Sure.
Or even if they're doing it, it's like, like I scored, I always joke on Box Breakers, we have somebody named Sierra. And I'm always like, possibly from my childhood soccer team or whatever. We had this girl that we played with growing up. I'm sure you remember.
I do. Yeah.
And Sierra could kick the ball a dang mile.
Yeah.
Like she had the strongest leg of anyone on the field, and she scored a whole bunch of goals. But it would be like, I mean, and she clearly was good. She went on and played like varsity for the high school and like all that stuff. Like she's a good athlete. I don't think that when she got her participation trophy at the Frank's Pizza in Rocky Mount at the end of the day that she was concerned that she wasn't good. I think everyone there knew she was good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Everyone absolutely knew that. Yeah. I don't think she got it and was like, no one else should have gotten one. Yeah, right.
I scored all the goals.
I did the work here, people.
Right. It's also a different perspective that seems odd as well. Yeah, it would be like the person who is just sort of like, no, only me.
Yeah, right.
That seems like it's its own problem.
That's a different problem altogether. So yeah, I mean, if that's the kind of participation trophy you're talking about, then I have no problem with that whatsoever.
And somebody's probably like, you guys have completely missed the point in this entire conversation, and there's a different kind of like column that you're not seeing, and it's like, well, if that's the case, then that's our bad.
Yep, then that's our bad.
But anyway, shall we move on to it's your turn?
Okay, all right. Let me see, what else do I have on this list here? Okay, this is kind of a funny one. I'm curious if you've ever done it. Is a shower beer peak luxury or totally gross?
Peak luxury.
Peak luxury.
1000%. Oh my gosh. So shower beer is pretty self-explanatory. It's basically just sort of like you
drinking a beer in the shower.
You drink a beer in the shower. So yeah, I mean, I don't do it often. I would say I do it very, very rarely.
Yeah.
But I think it's because, like, to me, a shower beer is like in the same column as going and getting like a massage. Like, it's not that I've never done it, but it's like, it feels like you almost have to be like doing like a special occasion, like it's like, ooh, this is something I'm doing.
Right.
Like, like it feels like indulgent and fun. So I feel like most often when I have had this come up, I feel like it would almost even be like, maybe since like Addison has been like born, where like if she goes and spends the night like at like one of her grandparents' houses, and like Alice and I are going to go out to like a fun dinner, and it's sort of like we've got like a little bit of time to like get ready, and it's like, I'm going to go have a shower beer before we go to dinner.
Oh,
like, it's like, all right. It's like this. It's like I didn't even need to shower. I'm doing it because I want to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what? That's what's happening right here. I don't think I've had a shower beer at my present house.
Oh,
I don't think.
Well, maybe you should soon.
Maybe I should. However, I will say, let me know where you land on this. I will have a shower coffee pretty frequently. Pretty frequently.
I would say it's not uncommon, and I don't know really why I do it, because I will normally like I'll be drinking my coffee before I go up to take a shower in the morning. I will usually bring it up, set it on my bathroom sink, as if like it's coming with me.
Yeah.
And it never does. Like I never bring, I don't have like a place like up high where I could like keep it away from like the water, and like a beer can, I feel like it's easier to prevent like water from getting in.
I mean, I guess so, but also I'm kind of like so where I take I have my coffee in the shower, and there's like a little ledge. Like if I was facing the shower and it was coming down at me like to like at about arm level on the right in the corner.
Okay.
It's kind of right there. So the water is like it's sort of sitting at the same level in which the water is coming out. So it's not like, it's hard for the water to be just like in it.
Okay.
But like if water is like splashing, like it's not unreasonable for it to get in the water.
Okay.
I suppose. But I'm also like, it's like, it doesn't seem that gross to me because coffee is mostly water anyway.
That's true.
If it's coming out of the faucet, I'm cleaning myself with.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think I think logistically I haven't given it a fair enough shake.
Sure.
Is probably what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So if I ever design a new shower for my house, I'll have to make sure I've got a good
spot to put your coffee mug.
A good beverage ledge.
Yeah, exactly.
A beverage. No, I thought there was gonna be a better word.
Beverage.
A beverage.
A beverage.
A beverage.
Yeah.
Bev-edge. Beveled edge.
Yeah.
Beverage. No. Yeah, you were right. Beverage.
Beverage. Yeah,
I like. Oh yeah, the beverage.
Yeah, the beverage.
Okay, now I'm getting it.
Now you got it.
Now it's really clicking in. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. Yeah. Man, now I wish I had an opportunity on the horizon to have a shower beer, though. That sounds wonderful.
I mean, Ben, there's every morning for the rest of your life,
There's everybody. I'm not
having a shower beer in the morning.
Yeah, no.
I'll tell you what, though, if we were like in Vermont and we had the outdoor shower, that's really peak.
Now
when you can have a shower beer in an outdoor shower, whew.
Like we need a word that means more than luxury for whatever that is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Luxury plus 2.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Everyone's like, this is the grossest thing I've ever heard. Who would bring a coffee into the shower?
Dude, I am highly debating on putting my toothbrush in the shower.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I feel like so often, because of like the order of operations that I go through things, like I tend to like go downstairs, get my coffee, drink my coffee, go upstairs, shower, and then brush my teeth.
Yeah.
So that but like I don't know, like it's like I hate that morning mouthfeel more than anything. So it's like, but I also just really want to beeline it for my coffee.
I don't want to this is my problem. Somewhere it's like you don't want to brush your teeth before you drink your coffee.
You don't want to brush your teeth before you drink your coffee. Yeah,
you don't want the mint flavor to affect the coffee flavor.
Yes, I mean no way.
No one. Yeah, exactly.
The worst.
No, none of that. None of that. I don't think so.
So anyway, that's where I'm going to put mine. Okay, let's see here. Let's see if I got one more left in me. Oh man, this one I think is tricky. I was just having a conversation with somebody about this recently. School uniforms.
Oh.
Do they level the playing field or stifle individuality?
Oh.
This one I think is very tricky. It's very tricky. Because I can see both sides of the equation so easily.
I can absolutely see it. I remember when I was in school, I thought the idea of school uniforms was abhorrent.
Same.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember knowing, like we have a really rather prominent like Catholic school that a lot of kids go to in our area, and then we have like a handful of small other like private schools that kids go to. And I remember the Catholic school has like full blown school uniforms, and we had a neighbor who went there, and so like I remember like every day he would like get home and need to go inside to change before he could come out and like play soccer or basketball or whatever with us in the cul-de-sac. And then the kids that went to the private schools, I think, had to wear like solid colors, but it wasn't like a full blown school uniform.
It was just like a stricter dress code.
It was a stricter dress code. Yeah. Like you had to wear like either like a button down or like a solid color, and it couldn't be like a graphic tee. You know, I think yours would not be allowed. Mine would probably be on the line.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I have like a pattern.
Yeah.
You know, like a very thin checkerboard type situation. And I don't know what I think is correct here. I know that when I was in school, I would have hated it. But it took me really until like probably junior year, maybe even senior year, before I started like properly developing like my own sense of style. And I wasn't just wearing like the clothes that like we had in our, like that mom and dad, I guess, bought us.
Just whatever I put in the drawer.
Yeah. Like the finest Old Navy had to offer.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I think would have kind of been the thing. I know, especially nowadays, it seems like clothing is a massive piece of self-expression, and I can definitely see the benefits there.
Yeah. I think the issue, I guess the argument, for school uniforms would be that if you don't have them, then it might be really obvious, like your
like income disparity.
Yeah, like income disparity. Like if you have kids who are just like decked head to toe in like Lululemon and Abercrombie and Fitch and whatever, like really expensive clothes.
Right.
It can like create cliques sort of without meaning to.
Yeah.
Because or if you have people who just like don't look as like well dressed for whatever reason, or maybe you just don't have a good sense of style, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're just bad at, putting together an outfit versus people who are great at it. And as a result, you just sort of like stand out a little in an uncomfortable way.
Sure.
This way it's like, you don't have to worry about any of that. Your clothes aren't going to be the thing. It's only going to be down to your personality. But then I've never been to a school, like I never went to school where you had to wear a school uniform. So it's like, I don't know if even within that system, there is like an obvious kind of disparity or something.
Yeah. Right. Like is it an equalizer, or does it just then do its own version of like shining light on people's insecurities or something like that? Are some kids going to have like more nicely pressed shirts, or then is it down to like jewelry or like nails or something? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like you're always going to find a way to distinguish yourself, I imagine, in some capacity. But so like the other thing too, and this was a piece of the conversation, is like creative expression, I think, is super important, especially for like young people who are trying to figure out like who they are, because on some level your clothes can be like trying on a personality,
right,
if you will. But then there's the layer that like school on some level, while it is a social place, it's also like an academic place. So like maybe like allowing the environment to operate as a place where like it's supposed to be a little more like cerebral in nature, where like, maybe it's like, you focus more on personality or humor or whatever those types of aspects are, versus the clothes that you're wearing. I don't really know.
I don't know. You're right. Cause like, you're right. Sometimes it's like trying on a personality, but sometimes you might get like shoved into a personality because of how you're dressed.
Also true. Also true. Yeah. Yeah. Like you wouldn't want somebody like, that's the big thing to me, is that like, I feel like there's something to be said for the fact that like, if it makes more people feel overall included, I think that's a really good thing. Like that would be where I would usually stand. Like I like the idea of including more people. That would typically be like the most baseline, easy response that I could have.
Sure. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's lots of pros, there's lots of cons on both sides. I never had to do it, so it's hard for me to talk about what it would be like to have it.
Yeah. That's another one to throw out, I think, to the listeners, is like, did you have school uniforms, and what was it like?
Yeah. Did you love it? Did you wish you didn't have to have it?
Right.
I can almost. Here's the thing. I'd be curious to hear from people who had to wear a school uniform, because, like, I've never heard from anyone who didn't have to wear them that they would have loved to wear them.
That's true. Yeah, right. No, that's a good point. Like it's hard to think that given the choice, people would be like, I wish we had them.
I know. But it could be a case of like, you don't always know like what's best for you. Maybe you don't know what you like. It seems foreign, and like it feels like you're being like controlled or something in a way, and people, no one likes that.
Yeah. Right. Well, and the other
but perhaps it would be liberating.
It could be, because another really big aspect of this we talked about with tipping a little bit is the culture of like Americans in particular, where like individuality is like a really big part of who we are as people. Like we put a rather big emphasis on that, but like lots of other nations have like a much more communal look on things. And so I could see where school uniforms promote a more communal atmosphere.
But you could even argue that you could argue that having uniforms promotes more individuality, because now your personality is what has to come through more than your clothes.
Well, and that's a fair point. Yeah. Well, okay. And on that note, like very famously, I think Steve Jobs, was like the CEO of Apple and all that, kind of like this big creative genius, mega billionaire, all those things. He sort of like had like the whole thing where he would wear like a black turtleneck or like a black sweater and blue jeans every single day. And his argument for it was essentially that like, I make decision after decision after decision all day, every day. And eliminating something like what I'm wearing opens my brain up to think about other things more.
Right.
So like you could also have the question where it's like, if we look at school as an academic experience, and that's like where we want to place the weight over the social experiment that is schooling, then there's a chance that if you're not thinking about your clothing or your outfit or the way in which you physically stand out,
right, your like decision fatigue is
slightly lessened.
Yeah.
In some way,
right?
Or even just like the general comparison game, because that's where you can probably take like outfits on some level, like in real life, is like the very, very, very rudimentary like building block to social media. Like in some way, the clothing that you wear speaks to, like, it's supposed to tell you a story. It's supposed to give you an idea of what this person is. At least that's what fashion designers would hope for.
Right.
Is that like when you wear our clothes, people will think this about you.
Mm-hmm.
Like on some level, I think that must be out there.
Yeah, I think that's out there.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, the other big thing, in addition to eliminating or to contributing to a lessened decision fatigue is less of the comparison game, less of that, like, let's say you're sitting in class, you're having a hard time paying attention to the lesson. You look around, the person next to you has the sweet new Ugg boots, and you're like, boy, howdy, I wish I had some Ugg boots. And so then you're going on like a whole like thought process that's not paying attention to the lesson because you're thinking about Ugg boots and you're not thinking about like geometry.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we've talked this one into the ground.
I think so. All right, Ben, final thought as the most strongest opinion about the weakest of things already. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Oh, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. This is like the thing.
I don't understand people's hatred of it.
I mean, I guess that's fine. Yeah. I mean,
Do you like pineapple on pizza?
I don't.
Okay. But you've tried it.
I've tried it. Yeah. The pineapple and ham.
Yeah. Pineapple, the Hawaiian pizza.
It's like, yeah, exactly. I don't know. Okay, I think sometimes when it comes to stuff like this, and I'm of both minds. I completely get it in every which way. I remember like when I started eating sushi for the first time, there was this like massive, adventurous endorphin rush that I experienced because I was like, childish me was like, ooh, yuck, raw fish. I don't want to eat that. And then I did. And then I was like very pleasantly surprised that I liked it. And that almost gave me this like massive rush that I was like, well, now I want more.
I gotta try it.
And I think some people experience like horror or like scary films in the same way, like where it is fun to go into the movie theater to have simulated danger presented to you only to get to walk out knowing that you're completely safe and look at you made it through the whole thing.
Right.
Then you're flying high. I tend to not feel that way, and it just fuels my nightmares and like what hides underneath my bed at night. Mm-hmm. And so it's like I don't walk out feeling safe. I just walk out with a much more informed imagination.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes like with the argument with pineapple on pizza, it's not that like whether or not it's good. It's just, to me, like I think pepperoni on pizza is pizza at its most perfect. And it's just like I just don't, even if I don't mind, like even I think you described this the other day with like Doritos. It's like Cool Ranch are a 99.9 and nacho cheese are a 100. It's like they're both wonderful.
Right.
To me, eating pineapple on pizza is like a 6.5 and eating pepperoni on pizza is a 10. And I'm like, I get that you might want to have like a more adventurous like eating experience or whatever, but when it comes to pizza, I'm like, this is pizza perfected. Like, why would I ever want to consume pizza that's not pepperoni pizza? Because that's what I love.
Right. That's the best pizza.
That's the best pizza.
Right.
And I feel the same. Like I think a sausage pizza is like a 9.5 out of 10. Like it's a very close second, and I will still always pick pepperoni because I'm still thinking I would rather have a 10 than a 9.5.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, here's my I'll weigh in on the pineapple pizza debate. Is that like I think I'm with you. It's like if you like pineapple on pizza and that's your favorite pizza, then go for it. I don't care.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
Like Beth loves like Hawaiian pizza. I think if it was up to her, that's what we would get like all the time.
See, but so it's the pepperoni. Like that's her 10.
Right. Exactly. So and that's fine. And I don't mind it either. I think on the right day, a good pineapple pizza, or a good Hawaiian pizza is fantastic. What I take issue with is that some people like are just like adamantly against even the very idea. They're like mad at you for considering pineapple to be a viable pizza topping, even if it doesn't affect them at all.
What that doesn't affect them at all is exactly where I was going to catch you on this, because pizza is a very communal food.
Yeah.
And like you've always brought this up, like with your hack in college where you and John would order your onion pizza because nobody wanted to eat the onion pizza.
Exactly.
So like the pepperoni would come up, everybody would grab a slice of pepperoni. All that would be left is onion, and you guys would both split a half a pizza each.
Yeah.
Right? Brilliant.
Brilliant.
It's like, to everybody who doesn't love the pineapple pizza, it's always all that's left. Like, and so it's like, if there's like 10 boxes of pizza lined up, it's never the case that it feels like it's like, oh, well, the pineapple went out quick, but there's plenty of pepperoni left if that's what you like. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's always like, okay, everybody came in and ate the pepperoni and now we've got pineapple left. And it's like it does impact the other people because it's a communal food.
I mean, I guess so. But that's understandable. But it's like, because it's affecting you. But I feel like there is like a sentiment out there that is like pineapple doesn't belong on pizza.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Like people are just bothered that like other people are out there eating it of their own accord.
Right. People are out there like, if you're putting a pineapple on that, it's not even pizza. You know, like have you come like that's have.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know that this is a take that people have. So here's a question.
Yeah.
Let's say there was Hot Wheels pizza.
Hot Wheels pizza.
So you're in
like die-cast car pizza.
Like die-cast car pizza.
Okay.
And so you're sitting there on like the Pizza Hut, Domino's, Papa John's app or whatever, and you're going through, and it's like meats, fruits, veggies, whatever, toppings, Hot Wheels. And it's like, so you're sort of like, let's see here. Yeah, like you want pepperoni? Yeah, we'll do a pepperoni. Or sausage? Yeah, that's right. Okay, and we'll do a pineapple. That sounds good. And let's do one Hot Wheels, okay? All right, sounds good. And so it's like, if you're scrolling it and you're looking at it, and I know exactly what you're gonna say, you can't eat Hot Wheels, and it's like, doesn't matter. Maybe that's how people buy their Hot Wheels. Like the thing is,
that's
like
people buy their Hot Wheels.
That's how people buy their Hot Wheels.
You can just take them off, okay? If you don't like them, just take them off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know why you're so upset that Papa John's allows you to put Hot Wheels on your pizza. It's like, wow.
This is such a good example.
Thanks.
It's just like, because it's like at some point you're putting something on the pizza that is making it stop being pizza. It's like, okay, pineapple pizza, that's still pizza. Now you've got metal toys in the pizza. I don't think it's pizza anymore.
It doesn't affect you, man.
This is how I buy my pizza. I'm like, but you can't eat that pizza.
Just pluck them off. It's like, buy your Hot Wheels separate. This is how I like to buy them.
Hot Wheel pizza.
Hot Wheel pizza.
This is how I buy my Hot Wheels. I take it off the pizza, then I eat the pizza. I don't understand what the problem is.
Why don't you just order cheese pizza and also go buy Hot Wheels?
No, you're right. If Papa John's sold Hot Wheel pizza, I would be upset about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where they're coming from.
That's where they're coming from. To them, pineapple is inedible.
Inedible. It's like it is.
You're putting non-food on food.
Insulting to the. You know what really I think is happening though is that everybody loves pizza.
Yeah.
Like it's like and I feel like it would be a beige flag if they didn't like pizza. It would be like
that's a red flag if you don't like pizza.
It's like yeah. It's like I don't know what to do with you. It's like I'm gonna have pizza. Probably.
Then
like,
you can't trust people who don't like pizza.
Okay,
that's ridiculous.
All right,
it's a definite. Okay, here's the thing. This is what it should be. If people like pineapple on pizza, that's a beige flag.
Okay, yeah.
Because it actually does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
It does not matter. Yeah. If they don't like pizza, that's a.
It's like
see you next time.
That's when the people who hate pineapple pizza join up with the people who like all other pizzas, and then they hate that person.
Exactly. Like, what are you talking about? You don't like pizza? I never heard. What do you eat? What do you like?
I don't understand. It's like one of the three major food groups.
So Luke loves the Would You Rather game.
Okay.
And it'd be like he loves like a situation where it's like, would you rather never eat pizza or never eat hamburgers or whatever, or would you rather never eat? He loves to eliminate joy from your life.
Shit,
it is Would You Rather.
Who doesn't?
I know, pizza to me is always a really interesting modifier in his line of Would You Rathers here, because it's like, would I say, like, is pizza my favorite food? It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Maybe, but until I get to like real, but like if mom makes ribs or something, it's like, I like that more than pizza.
Oh, same.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, mom makes great ribs.
But then Luke would be like, would you rather like never eat ribs again or never eat pizza again? And I'm like, well, then it's the ribs. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yes. It's like when I eat mom's special ribs on like the birthday that she makes them on, it's like, this is like very important and wholesome, and like probably even the fact that like you never do this occasion without being surrounded by family. It's like there are so many factors that go into making mom's rib nights wonderful.
Right.
That is more than just the flavor of the ribs, which is also spectacular.
Right.
But you're right. Yeah. It's like if it came down to it, it's like I eat ribs like once every 6 months. I eat pizza every week.
Yeah. Sometimes twice a week.
Yeah.
Like pizza leaving my life is going to make a way bigger impact, even if it's not my tip-top favorite food.
I know. It's so true. And like, I feel so silly sometimes because I feel like people are like, what's your favorite food? I'm like, I mean,
it's probably pizza.
It's like, the things I would be like least willing to get rid of would be like boneless wings, and pizza.
Right.
Like, and I'm like, well, I sound like a college student, you know, but also like those.
Have you had boneless wings?
They're delicious.
They're so good.
They're so good.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Man, tacos, pretty good up there. Hamburgers.
Oh, tacos are incredible. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
like there are certain kinds of food. That's the thing. I eat tacos every week.
Yeah.
Every week.
And
I love taco night.
Yeah.
Like it never gets old.
Never gets old. I've been eating taco. Yeah, we have taco night every week at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So
pretty
anyway,
good. And we have pizza night every week at my house.
So whether it's weak or whether it's strong, today we discussed it, and it's always long. Man, I wish I had a better ending to that.
Man, yeah. Do you want to trial it back?
Whether it's weak, whether it's strong. Do you have something?
0 for 2.
I know.
Let me see. I don't have something, but I'm gonna see if it comes to me on the fly. Ready? Whether it's weak, whether it's strong, we've discussed it, and maybe we were wrong.
Oh,
boom!
Good for you, man. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever been so proud of my entire life. That's exactly what I wanted. There is no better way to end an episode than that. Guys, thank you so much as always for tuning into this week's episode. We hope that you enjoyed it. This was just for like a fun, wacky format. It was just supposed to be free flowing, just like conversational. Hopefully you know that we don't actually die on any of the hills that we just discussed. It's all just in good fun. Be sure to send any feedback over to popcornculturepod@gmail.com. Otherwise, until next time.
Waffle fries are the best. Pop, pop!
Today's episode was edited by Isybelle Christley. Vaishon Brandon does our art. Catherine Stein is our production manager, and the show is hosted by me and Jonathan Carlin.